Today is one of the most exciting updates we have because we have so much that's done.
Yeah, we're flying now.
And one of the biggest things that you can see is our paint color.
It looks very similar to what it was before, but it's different.
It's different. It's not done. This is just the first coat and the whole house isn't painted yet, so they'll do a couple more coats.
Yep.
But I am loving the color. We went with Benjamin Moore
White Dove.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, all the other updates that we have tile, we have hardwoods.
Yeah, we have some cabinets.
Some cabinets.
Trims going in. Our main cabinets show up next week.
Yeah, so things are really starting to come together. Okay, so like I said, we went with Benjamin Moore White Dove on the exterior, which is a really popular exterior paint color.
Finish.
I don't know what the finish is.
I think it's satin.
I don't know. Anyway, we went with this. We had a lot of white options. Like we went through so many. Alabaster was in the running, natural lace was in the running, natural choice. Just basically I wanted a warm white, something that felt historic. The warmth is what pulls it to be a little bit historic looking.
Right.
I didn't want it too bright. Alabaster was too bright. It just looked like
it has a yellow tint to it too.
And it like popped too much like white out. It just wasn't looking good. So I'm so glad. I'm happy with the color choice. I think it looks really good. It's going to look great with our shutter color once we get into that because that's also warm.
Right.
So yeah, it's good.
And we've also got doors that are going to be a dark stain, so it's really going to make the doors pop. They've been pressure washed. We've got to start sanding them, and then we'll stain them, and then we'll get some gutters on this, and the outside should be finishing up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So we'll take you inside now.
Okay, so this is Dallin's study. One of the biggest changes is the floors. We went with a herringbone pattern with the hardwoods in here, which was a last minute decision, which I'm so glad we did it. I asked him probably a few days before they were going to lay the floors. I was like, have you thought about maybe putting herringbone somewhere?
But I don't.
And he doesn't think about that kind of stuff, but it just adds a level of, I don't know, like, it's just a beautiful detail.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's really good in accent room. So I was like, we could either do it in our bedroom, my closet, or the study, just because those are separated from the main space. So you're not breaking up hardwoods, like it's not laying next to straight hardwoods.
Because there's tile.
Because there's tile in the entry. And it really is like so beautiful. I'm so excited about this. It looks better than I imagined.
We've also tore out the tile here.
Oh yeah, so there was tile surrounding on the hearthstone and then the fireplace around. That's removed. We will replace that with a probably quartzite stone eventually when we pick that out. The other update is we've landed on a paint color. So this was our first round of paint color choices. None of these landed. It just wasn't feeling right to me. So then this batch is like our second round of samples, which I like all of these. And then Dallin decided I'll let him choose.
A little more green.
Yes, so this is Gray's Harbor from Sherwin-Williams. It is a dark gray blue, but there's actually a lot of green in it.
There is.
So this is going to be the color that is drenched in this whole room. Ceiling, walls, trim, everything. So it's gonna feel really rich and really moody in here. When you decide to like color drench your room, there's always like a nervousness of like, I hope it looks and feels good. So I love this color, but I am still a little nervous. But it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be really great.
There'll be some deer heads over here.
Yeah, it'll look great once we've also put a bunch of his like stuff in here that feels very like.
Well, and we're not doing any accents besides the crown. We were thinking about a chair rail or shadow boxes, but we're gonna I've got a lot of like hunting stuff and like memorabilia and pictures and stuff like that that are going to kind of fill this space.
Think like Ralph Lauren layered study. So very masculine.
Yeah, think Ralph Lauren.
Well, don't think like clothing Ralph Lauren, like home interior Ralph Lauren. Very masculine, very layered. I don't know. It'll be good. I think any other detail on the wall would have been too much. So we'll let his stuff fill it enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our entryway. Last video, we kind of sampled out the tile on the floor for you of what it was gonna look like. We told you we went bigger with the 24 by 24 instead of the 12 by 12 squares, and it's done. They grouted last night. Like probably, it seemed as if they did it in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we were there at like
because we were here last night at like 7, and then we arrived at 9, and I'm like, well, it's done. He snuck in and grouted the floor. So anyway, this looks really good. Super happy with it. I think it really sets the tone for the house, this being in the entry. Okay, so we're in the dining room. There hasn't been much of any updates in here in a while.
We actually took a lot of the crown out of here because there's a lot of rooms upstairs that have crown, and all of that crown was different than the crown we could get. So we sacrificed all of the trim in this room to make up all of the trim that's already up to the upstairs to match it, because it's the same profile, but there's 20 something years in between. And it's just changed.
So things have changed.
And so they didn't match up. And so we took everything out of here.
Put it somewhere else.
And we're just going to put new back up in here. So
this will have the 3-piece crown with the bull nose, which I think is super traditional looking. Adds a decorative touch. It makes it feel polished. So that's going back up.
With a chair rail.
Yeah, we're doing a chair rail all the way around. And then
shadow boxes.
Shadow boxes in here.
That color.
Yeah, so we haven't shown the wallpaper yet. We're excited about this. I've known this. I picked this out a long time ago, but this is Sherwin-Williams Rosemary. So that's gonna go on the chair rail, all the trim and the ceiling. And then this is our wallpaper. This is Plantasia from House of Hackney. I love their wallpaper. It's just super whimsical, very different. It looks like a tapestry, so it's printed to look like there's texture on it, but it's not, it's just wallpaper. Right. So this room is gonna be crazy different when it's done.
And one thing to think about when you're doing this with the chair rail, with the crown, this comes in 9-foot sheets or 6'6" sheets. So you have to have the correct spacing where you're gonna have some waste with your chair rail, or else if it ended right here, you can't really make it match. So. And
especially because this is not just like a patterned wallpaper, this is a landscape wallpaper. So it has a scene, so you can't just like cut some off and put it here, because then you've broken up the landscape. Right. You can do that with other wallpaper, but this is like harder.
Right.
Harder to make work. Right. So you really need to consider that, but I'm like in love with this. I cannot wait to see it in here.
So sometimes I jump the gun a little bit. We have a cabinet supplier that's local here that we do like our upstairs vanities, closets, entertainment centers. And I wanted to get a taller entertainment center than we usually do. And so I just ordered the taller cabinets without even measuring. I just did all this online. And then when they came in, which they're non-returnable, I was like, that doesn't work. So we got some new cabinets to put somewhere else in the house, but that gives you an idea of kind of what we're doing here. We've reordered, and we've got 30-inch cabinets. These are 42, and we're gonna put a 6-inch base around it, and it's gonna look great.
So what he's saying is these are too tall.
Yeah.
We've done this before. We've done built-ins where we've created our own
But it was 8-foot or 9-foot ceiling, so it was a little shorter.
Different.
Yeah, it was different.
So we buy the base cabinets, and then we have our trim guy build out the bookshelves on top, and they all fit together, and then you paint them so it looks like a built-in.
Right. I just screwed up.
He just jumped the gun a little bit, but that's okay. So we have all these cabinets we're not sure what to do with. We'll already replaced them. They're coming in.
Yeah, we'll find new ones. It's very affordable cabinetry, so.
That's true. They're not that expensive. But yeah, so this will be the focal point of this wall, which we had some up and downs about that.
She won. Shocker.
That is going to be the focal point. We'll put the TV there, bookshelves on either side. We're also doing lighting in there. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to feel like it was a custom built-in moment when it really wasn't.
Right.
I don't have any idea of color. I can't. I'm running out of space up here. I'm really running out of space in my brain. So I don't know what that's going to look like yet color-wise, but we'll figure that out.
Right. Next week.
Let's go to the porch.
All right. So here we are out on our porch. We've got our board and batten up.
And this up.
We've got our beam up. We've got our ceiling up. We've picked out the stone we're going to use, Tennessee limestone, keeping it local here. That'll go up after they get all of this painted, just so that they don't get paint on the stone, because it's impossible to get out when they do. But yeah,
we changed some things. We knocked out some.
Oh yeah, we did. So when they framed this, I have a love-hate relationship with my framers right now, but they put in LVLs when they didn't need to because it called for it on plans originally, but we changed the plan on this. And then they put all these beams in. We didn't need the beams because it was too closed off. None of them were even. And so we just knocked all the beams out besides like the main supporting ones that we have to have. And I think it changed the whole thing and it looks great.
It really makes it so much more open. It feels visually nicer on your eye because it's not broken up and it's not uneven looking as much anymore.
Some of it's uneven in here, but we'll live with it.
It's not perfect, but it's fine. But with the LVLs, like this thing's going to survive a hurricane. Like
yeah,
it wouldn't
literally
go anywhere.
our engineer was like, this is not going anywhere.
No, so it's very sturdy. But it'll be painted. All of this, except we're going to stain the ceiling. Not sure on color yet, but it will be stained. Won't be dark.
No, it'll be
I do not want a dark stain up there. And then this will be the exterior paint color. So this will be White Dove from Benjamin Moore. And then the stone.
Yep. And then on here, this is just going to be concrete for now. But what we did do is we put in a line to have a heated floor in here. And here's why. We have a heated floor, and then I've got a 120 plug up here for a heater. And we've got the fireplace. And then we can put either like a plastic cover on these windows or like a plexiglass. And this can you can still use this in the winter because you're just going to have heat coming from everywhere. It's not going to be 100 degrees in here, but it's going to be comfortable.
Yeah, it'll be comfortable.
So,
yeah. This is the primary bathroom, and the tile is like 99% done. We're almost there. The floors look amazing.
Yep.
He laid the heat coil underneath it. Heated floors. I forget, in the last video I shared like the name of the color, I think, but I love how it turned out. Looks so good.
Our grout is lighter than what the sample stick was.
Yeah, we did have a moment yesterday when we walked in. I was like, this looks great, but the grout's wrong.
I threw my phone. That happens.
He was dramatic, but it's actually not wrong. It is the right color. It just turned out so much lighter than we had anticipated.
The sample stick.
Yeah, the sample, it's called Oyster Gray. It's really pretty. It was just, a hair lighter than the tile. I didn't want the grout to pop. I didn't want it to draw your attention. And I'm like, oh, it's a little bit lighter, but I think once we really get a good clean on the floors, I think it'll be fine.
I do too.
But yeah, I guess now I know in the future that grout looks lighter than you thought it was going to. This is almost done. It's looking really good. Up here is grouted, so that's what it'll look like finished. And then the penny tile is beautiful. All of these colors will really be tied in once they lay the marble surround, marble bench and marble.
Which that's not supposed to be here.
Yeah, we got to take that off. But anyway, all these color choices we made are from the marble. So it's going to really tie the whole room together. I'm excited to see it done. One thing that we're excited about in the primary bathroom is that we have a rendering. We have two. We have a rendering of the cabinetry from one angle and then the whole room for another angle. So we'll drop those in so you can see what it will look like loosely. I mean, some of the details we nixed or, some design elements have changed, but it's really cool to see visually how it will lay out.
Yeah. So here's our coffee bar. He went ahead and put the backsplash in. He's got to finish it. We will have the marble countertop here. And I wasn't expecting the backsplash yet because I've got to put my shelving in. So we're going to have to go through the tiles to get the brackets for the shelving, which is never fun. But that's part of it. And so, yeah, it's coming along. This is going to be really cute right here.
It looks good.
And water, coffee, whatever we want. We have a water hookup so that you can just fill your coffee maker up, or you can have water on tap right there if you just don't want to walk into the bathroom.
This cabinet was existing, and this is where we're going to put the mini fridge. So this will hold like the milk for coffee or whatever we need, waters, all that. And it's kind of cool that this was her intention for this space anyway, the previous owner. So we kind of are just bringing it to life.
Yeah, she never finished it out. So we are.
This is my closet. I'm so excited about it. Like beyond excited. I can't believe that this is going to be mine. So these are the cabinets that we've installed. This is the, what's it called? ProCraft cabinet. So it's the same cabinets from the living room. You just kind of buy them in a box and they show up. So that's what we did here. We just measured what we were wanting. We left room for a vanity. I'm so excited to have a makeup vanity with really great lighting. A mirror will go here. We did order additional box cabinets here for an island. We'll kind of put those together.
It's a 48 by 48 square here. So 4 boxes, 24-inch triple cabinets.
Like
Drawer.
3 drawers.
Yeah.
So that'll change the space, that changes the way the traffic moves in this room. That'll be cool. It looks kind of odd right now because there's no trim. So our trim guys are actually coming today to work on closets. So today this will look drastically different. I'm doing high-low storage here, or hanging.
Hanging. It's high-low. It's called high-low.
High-low here.
So she's going to have
He drew it on the wall.
a shelf here and a shelf at 40 inches, like 80 and 40, and then you'll have 4 different sections for all your clothes, and then there'll be another shelf at 96 that'll carry around most of this room. And then I'll let you finish over there.
Then over here, I wanted a pantry cabinet, which this is like a pantry cabinet, even though this is not a pantry, it's just this like tall storage for folded clothes. Like I fold all my jeans, I fold a lot of my sweatshirts, so this will have like clothes storage for that, which is nice. And then the high clothing rack will go here. So I have a lot of tall clothing, like long clothing, like dresses and jumpsuits. So I needed more than usual, I guess, for high. So this is all high, which is really nice. And then we'll have that 96 shelf that continues from here over. And then on this side, I'm excited about this. I got to design the shoe rack, I guess. So I measured all my shoes because, I have to make sure that there's enough room for like super tall boots. So this is kind of what we ended up with. There will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shelves from floor to ceiling. So lots of shoe storage. I'm so excited.
And one thing to notice, like we put a lot of drawings on the walls because none of this has been primed, none of it's been painted. Use a pencil, don't use a pen. Because if you use a pen or a Sharpie, it'll bleed through. Like sometimes all you have is a Sharpie and it'll bleed through, but these pencils, you can literally just draw whatever you want on the walls.
Yeah, and then the last wall, I'll give you the plan for this. We're not doing anything on this wall. This will be a very large mirror. The way the windows are not centered in this room because it was a reno and it's not, a new build.
And you don't want to mess up the outside aesthetic.
Correct. So we were never going to move the windows. So what we did was we made the closet, this double rack behind you, come out. So then visually when you walk in the room, it will look more symmetrical than it is. So nothing goes on this wall except a big mirror. And then that closet will pull in a little bit. And so it'll feel more intentional. And then design wise, this room will be finished, like super finished when we move in. Obviously it'll be very functional. But as far as like cabinetry paint, wall paint, and wallpaper has not been decided, but I'm getting there mentally. It's like really coming together in my head. I'm gonna do wallpaper on the ceiling, which I'm so excited about. I'm thinking like a really bold floral print. And then we'll do a beautiful chandelier over the island eventually. And then I want to color drench the walls and the cabinets and the trim green to match the wallpaper. So as soon as I get that, I'll show it to you. I haven't even decided on wallpaper yet, but that is what is up here. So I can't wait to see it when it comes together.
And so
yeah, you got the laundry.
So leading into the laundry room, which is right off of her door. Here's our laundry. Same cabinets. The same floor from the entryway is in here, but just in the 12 by 12 instead of a 24 by 24.
It's so cute.
So we've got big 24-inch pantry cabinets for all your storage. You've got a trash pull-out here with the trash cans. And then what we're going to do in here is put a countertop on either side of the wall, and you'll have like a little alleyway for walking in, and then you can put your hampers like underneath here. I think you can fit about 3 or 4 hampers here, and we'll do the same on this wall, and then your washer and dryer will be here. The reason we loved this location for the laundry, because this used to be part of the original closet. The original closet was enormous.
Yeah, I'd like to make a note that I actually made my closet smaller than it originally was, so I downsized.
But all of the future bedrooms that we're not finishing are right on the other side of this door. So it's a very centralized location for the laundry, which will make it really nice for the house.
Design-wise,
it's coming together.
Kind of like my closet, it won't be finished 100% when we move in. Very functional, but not finished. The tile is obviously the groundwork for the design and the color palette in this room. But I do think what I do in my closet will kind of determine what we do here, because that's going to be a wild, bold room. So I want this to feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more serene, not as like in your face. I do envision wallpaper, but very soft. We'll paint the cabinets so they won't be white. They'll be probably a nice, softer putty color maybe. And then we'll do countertops eventually. But right now, we're not. Or maybe now. I don't know. Every day things change. Every day. But this is what it'll be for now. But we do have plans to finish this out 100% eventually.
Yeah, it's mainly just...
We have to make it functional when we move in. That's the goal.
Well, I'm just saying the reason we haven't is it's brain overload when you're...
Yeah, we've reached the point in this project where...
We're ready to move in. I feel my brain is so full. Like it's hard for me. I'm not going to just randomly pick a wallpaper just to put it up. I want to love it. And I want to feel super confident that it's going to be, the longevity of the home, the wallpaper will stay. So. And if something goes up, it's there for minimum 5 years. So that's the rule.
Apparently that's his rule.
We ain't switching it every 2 weeks.
No, but anyway, all that to say, I'm okay with waiting so that I can walk in here and be like, okay, what is this personality of the room? What does it want to be? How does it feel next to my closet? It just takes time and it takes brain capacity, which I am lacking. So that will come. It'll come eventually.
All right. That's it for today.
It's a lot.
And next week we'll have cabinetry. Outside will be completed on paint. All the tile will be done. Countertops, maybe. Probably not. Closet shelving will be in. Trim will be in. We're getting so close. Like it's becoming a real thing. So we're getting pretty excited about it. But we're closing in on the finish line. I know it doesn't seem that way. We got painters that are going to have to start showing up.
But we might actually move in
June.
When we said we would.
Yeah.
In the last video. We might.
Not the original one, but.
Yeah, the last one.
Anyways. All right.
Bye.
Bye.